Welcome back to the Long and Thick podcast. Here we are. Your two coffee obsessed uncles, helping you navigate the noise and cut through the bullshit in the health and wellness space. Today, we're going to dive in to 5 sleep tips-ish.
Diametrically opposed to being coffee obsessed.
No, dude, a coffee enema before bed is the best thing you can do. Just kidding. Don't do that. Before we get into that, tell me, Daniel's son.
Oh, yes.
What is the funniest video you've seen this week?
Oh, I mean, my algorithm is tuned to just awkward,
craziness,
over the top shit. I believe it heard me talking to my neighbor yesterday, who he was wearing a Sasquatch shirt. He's a big fan of that whole brand of, I guess, what would you even call people who like subscribe to Sasquatchness? Yeah,
they're like the same like Area 51ers and
and he doesn't do
like
it. He's not deep in
supernatural
it. Yeah,
almost.
but just he thinks it's quirky and funny and has like and he and his wife and his daughter are going to Yosemite here soon. So it was relevant. We were talking about it, but there was some the new AI generated stuff I cackle at because it's really good. Yeah. But it was basically a bunch of like selfie footage of Sasquatch.
Oh shit.
And just finding people's vapes and drinking leftover beers and just talking shit about scaring people.
Hell yeah.
And never having the proof to catch them.
Nice.
So that made me laugh.
I like that.
And it was a little too on the nose because big brother, big sister is listening.
Always. Yeah. The ear is inside of you actually.
What's the funniest thing you've seen?
It's funny you say the shit about Sasquatch. Me and one of my buddies will always send these like almost like stoner videos of these like Sasquatches, like, and they're Australian, and this guy throws a bunch of weed in the top of a volcano, and underneath the volcano there's like 3 squatches just like chilling, and he's like takes a bong rip. And it's the whole base of the volcano goes down into this little like tube. It looks like a fucking Viking horn. And he's like sucking on it for, I don't know, a good 30 seconds. And it's so stupid, but yeah.
Well, yeah, I love this because we're both describing these things that in our own respective little privacy, we're cackling like idiots. Yeah. But we try to convey this right now, and the listeners are like, get to the fucking point. This is so dumb.
There was a diagram of a volcano on the scene. The first squatch tosses in marijuana. Yeah, it's just like...
You know, people say like humor should be universally funny. Well, it was to us, but we try to talk about it like this. And it's like, maybe it doesn't sound...
Maybe cut that shit out. Talk about the fucking sleep already.
Anyway, so we're talking about all things sleep hygiene.
Yeah.
Trying to get the most out of it, which is also so not my forte. But I know the science behind it. I know what I can be doing better. I know what I have done to some success to get my sleep a little bit better, but I am one of the chosen few that just
fucking duel it out. You and my buddy Mike, the fucking guy is like allergic to sleeping, lays down, is just like eyes glued to the ceiling, and no bueno.
So when talking about sleep hygiene, what's kind of like the first thing, like your first order of business? One, do you feel like you get an adequate amount of sleep?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
How far off the mark?
Maybe like an hour.
Okay.
It's like
solid.
Yeah. I'm not like, it's nothing crazy. I would say, 30 minutes to an hour. And the biggest thing is always, at least for myself, going to be the ritual prior to setting yourself up for sleep.
Yeah.
The things we'll touch on a little bit are like light, temperature, stimulants, those types of things that are very obvious to everyone who's ever tried to sleep better. But anecdotally for myself, the more that I treat the wind down process like a thing to be enjoyed instead of like this, and I'm sure as I'm saying this, there's like parts of just childhood normalcy that make me so not opposed, but naturally just like my sacred time where no one wants anything from me is like very late. But people find that as well in the morning. And I feel that way too. If we wake up at like, 4:30 or 5 or whatever, and it's just like, you and the birds, like you're doing your thing, making the coffee, yada, yada, whatever. But finding a process for yourself that really sets you up to like down regulate. So my dad for a long time was like, and actually still does this as far as I know, has his like tea.
Yeah. That's like the sleepy time tea kind of thing.
Yep. And it's just like, these things are signals to yourself, right? Like, it's a road sign that says, hey, like get ready, you're about to exit. Like, and so those things are very important to integrate, in whatever way, shape or form works best for you. So I would say that would be the first order of business, is like setting up the timeline for when you would actually like to be asleep by, and then sort of reverse engineer maybe like an hour and a half, if not 2 prior to that, and start like at 7:30, beginning your like wind down process, and going from there. I don't know that I've ever asked you this, but what do you feel like there's like a certain crux for you with sleep? Like
for me, my brain has been way more overactive in the evening.
Interesting.
My imagination, my will to research things.
I get that.
All like just the
There's
amalgamation.
like a second wind that just really kicks
for
in.
sure. And it's usually somewhere between like 9 and 11, just what the patterns of my life have given me to. And that's not that pattern cannot be broken. It's anything can be done, but it has been a hard thing to change the tide of.
I mean, it's working. Like, I think, there's this idea of idealizing like the perfect thing that I'm talking about, the fucking 7:30 wind down, the temperature is 61 and yada, yada, your 8 sleep on your mattress. Like, great, all good stuff. But realistically, this is maybe a different way of the episode going than either of us maybe anticipated, but it's working for you.
Oh yeah, like, it's never held me back.
You wake up early as fuck and have a very busy long day, especially on like Monday, Wednesdays, you have like a very late evening.
Yep.
And so finally the time that you have to be able to exactly like exist as yourself and have all of the culmination of things, moments, ideas, feelings sort of actually process is then.
Right.
So it makes sense to me why I would like, when the fuck else would you do that?
Yeah.
Just wait till Saturday and then what? You still have people probably, you know what I mean? Like, and there's other shit to do. And so it's like,
it's never been a hindrance at the end of the day.
Sure.
I don't know what my life would feel like if I had 8-9 hours of sleep consistently. Maybe one day I would like to know.
Yeah.
But always been workaholic adjacent, if not full workaholic. I just like filling my time. But even on the times, say on a weekend day that I have a little more time to myself, it just, there's a weird ramping up in the evening and my brain is active. However, I also let my brain do that kind of unchecked. And that also allows habits in orbit that are counterproductive to sleep to still exist.
Sure. Like
I am
getting
not
on the computer.
actively changing them because, like you said, there's also only so much time in the day, but also my best ideas or my willingness, like I said, to research happens at night.
Yeah, which is like a core part of you. I mean, anyone who's listened or told me about feedback around the podcast is always like, dude, this motherfucker's vocabulary, like, and the thought articulation clearly comes from somewhere. So it feels like the thing that fuels that is this time in the evening, sort of, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you don't want to take that away. Is there a better way to balance it? I mean, yes.
Assuredly
but
so.
Like, it just, I mean, that'll
It's just never been so much of a detractor that I needed to change.
Yeah, you're not getting sick all the time. Blood work's looking good. Like, you're fine.
Yeah.
Like,
and so it's on paper not ideal. By the numbers also not ideal, but it's never held me back.
Yeah.
So do with that what you will.
Right. Yeah. An anecdotal case, you could be the gene variant that needs less sleep too, or adapted into that. And if that's even plausible, I don't know, but
in terms of, so looking at my case as a study, what I could be doing better for most other people that don't
operate that way.
To that would be, like you said, starting, if I'm trying to get to bed by 10:30.
Sure. Asleep.
Yes. I should be already fed at the latest by 7:30, 8ish, if I can help it. I would be lowering the lights in my house.
Yep.
I would be lowering the temperature, but when I first heard that, I was like, how much can that really make a difference? But the difference between you sleeping quickly at 69, 70 and you be falling asleep quicker, 64, 65 is very apparent.
And staying asleep.
Yeah. So that's something. Lowering the lights, making sure your phone's away at least an hour before bed. I do not do that. Just full transparency.
Most people don't. Yeah.
I am pretty much looking at the time. I was like, okay, I should go to sleep so I at least get 4 or 5 hours. And then I just put it down. I make sure my alarm's set. And then I just force myself to
turn off,
crash a little bit. But no, I should be doing something like reading or, I mean, I do a ton of reading on my phone. I have a couple books by my bed that I'll crack 2 or 3 times a week. It's usually during the middle of the day too. So it's not conducive to helping my brain wind down for sleep.
Sure.
So I am enacting that at the wrong time as well. But getting my phone off at least an hour, lowering the temperature. I do take, I'm kind of moving things out of order a little bit. It
doesn't matter.
But magnesium at night is huge for me. So that does help.
You feel a big difference?
For sure.
Yeah.
So I'll use magnesium L3 and 8. And
nice.
If you take the suggested dosage, you can feel that come on in about 20, 30 minutes.
Powder, pills?
Those are capsule form.
Nice. Yeah, probably one of the best natural sleep aids that I've ever used, I brought to Japan, they're called deep sleep caps by Paleo Medicinals. One of my clients put me onto it, and they make a lot of good stuff. Protein powders. They make some pretty intense, like, not THC, but CBD balms, like fucking powerhouse. Like you drink a bottle of wine CBD balms, like they're super punchy and expensive. But yeah, they're these deep sleep caps. I'll usually take 2 or 3 because I want to like feel the difference. And there's valerian root extract, lemon balm shit. There's other stuff in it, whatever. But I'll feel that like doziness that I think a lot of people want. And in just talking to friends and whomever about like sleep and almost like not the avoidance of it, but you want to go to sleep when you feel like, holy fuck, I like so eagerly cannot wait to lay down, where you are put to sleep instead of like waiting to go to sleep. Yes. And I think what ends up happening is folks will scroll until the eyes are just like fucking exhausted and they just are like, you know,
shout out when you actually just drop the phone on your chin, your chest. You're like, oh God.
Hell yeah. There's something
it's always a good look.
Nice about that state though, where you're in this like heavy, super relaxed, sedative type of place. But if you can get yourself to get there earlier instead of at like 1 a.m, like, yeah, typically for sure your health and performance and metrics and things are going to be way better than they were otherwise. Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward. Fortunately, somebody like Huberman has talked a lot about the light exposure components and all of the different mechanisms that are happening on the biophysiological side.
I will say there is credence to that too. If you do adhere to it, it might not take in the first 2 or 3 days, but with a good pattern behind it. So early morning sunlight, I can pretty much always get.
Yeah.
Depending on the day, I might miss late evening sunset, just being indoors, working on something at the gym, what have you. But on the days that I can see both sunrise and sunset, there is a marked difference in how my energy regulates toward the end of the day.
Yep.
I know it's really been a trending fad for people to talk about it, but that is something that is seemingly so menial that has a large downstream effect if you can adhere to it.
Yeah.
So it might seem silly, it might seem like snake oily, but what's the damage in even trying? You're 15 minutes outside in the bookends of the day, and you actually feel better when you start winding down for sleep and have more energy when you wake.
Yeah, go on your fart walk after dinner, and good for blood sugar and all that stuff too. So, I mean, when you actually stop and think about all of the ways that your environment impacts your reality, right? Like your skin is your largest organ and is photosensitive and photoreceptive.
Second largest for you.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, no one needs to know the other one. Yeah, so it's the largest thing, and you feel, you feel the wind blow on your skin. You feel like it is so aware of things, and to think that the light and all of these types of things we're talking about wouldn't have an impact on you when you actually sit back and think about it, instead of just try to reject whatever thing is being told to you. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, the way we govern the whole fucking day is with this glowing hot ball in the sky.
Sure.
Like, it is daytime, it is nighttime. Like, our whole construct of ebbing and flowing through the world really articulates around that. And so to think that it wouldn't impact you is sort of crazy.
Yeah. And then also too, just the overhead light or blue light exposure in your home or your devices. And I mean, you can do your own check-in and experiment. If you are absolutely exhausted, like just an internally cooked zombie human raisin, but you sit there and stare at your phone, you can push that till 3 a.m.
Oh yeah. Your ass will stay up.
Yeah, it will just barely. Sure, it has a hold on you. It has this incredible grasp on keeping you just enlivened enough, just your attention just grabbed enough where it just keeps you going.
Yep.
Which is horrible to think about.
It is horrible.
All just baked and checked in and can't break away.
Yeah, there's a funny picture that comes to mind. I've seen it posted a few times on people's stories. It's like, sorry, I'm having a hard time dealing with the 24/7 like onslaught of information, light and sound and shit with a brain that was designed to fucking crawl into a cave like by 6 p.m. Like,
for sure. It's the truth.
It's very real.
We've evolved and we've adapted to this lifestyle, but it's not necessarily a good one.
No,
it doesn't feel good.
It doesn't feel good. And I think that when people go away, man, I remember this is probably the longest time I ever went without using a phone, really. I was in Brazil for a few months and I didn't use my phone for the first 35 days, I don't think. I mean, it just died in my bag. And the way my body felt was very different. I mean, talk about being one with nature. Is that realistic for people to do? No, not really.
But did it feel sublime?
But was it outrageously healing and restorative? And yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah. I mean, if you just think about even times when you go, there's a reason why the things that people say that they like the most, like going for a hike and whatever, they're probably not like on phone calls, and some motherfuckers are. They bring a fucking boombox up the hill and you're like, this is a rhythm. You're like,
they're power walking past you, screaming about some deal. It's like, oh, he's really one with nature.
Exactly. Yeah. They're like, it really will serve you well to disconnect from.
You also hit that melody very well, by the way.
You like that? Yeah, I got that nice. That I don't think it's perfect pitch, but it's really important to disconnect. I mean, I talked about this yesterday. Like, just go and observe shit. Like, let yourself have that time that you're talking about where, you know, if you can fit that in, your brain naturally wants to go into that uptick space. Like, it's important for you to have that. It's part of what makes you you. And so add some fire to that, but do it at a time that won't, you know, punch you in the dick a little bit later. Any sleep things, hacks that you've used for like, maybe like on tour, things like that, where like,
oh God, yes, but it's not a good one. So for hearkening back to the days of old in music world, I never really got the benefit of sleep. So there are a select few, i.e. myself, that are really good at overnight driving. And on an ambitious enough tour schedule, there's a lot of them. So as punk, metal, hardcore, we were, you know, some of them were on buses like in Europe and we had our own drivers. Great.
Yeah.
But most of it we're hoofing it ourselves. So I would get that responsibility quite often.
Yeah.
But on the select few dates that someone else finally just bit the bullet, and sometimes I had to do it in shifts. I'm like, dude, come on. Like, I can't do every one of them.
Right.
So we had an 8 or 9 hour drive, and this is not what I'm at. It worked, but I'm not advocating for this.
Oh boy.
So,
oh my God.
We were in somewhere in Oklahoma, I think Oklahoma or Iowa. And we had to get to southern Texas. It was a long drive. We finished up at a Waffle House. Fantastic.
Never been.
You've never been to a Waffle House?
No.
You've never been to that quality establishment?
No.
Cigarette butts, fights, your feet stick to the floor.
That's
from
my kind of
unchecked
place for sure, but
syrup residue. It has its place.
Yeah.
It has its place.
It'll find me.
So, what are you doing after this?
We got to go at 3 a.m.
Yeah, fair. So I went to a convenience store after Waffle House and I was like, I need to find something that will put me down and keep me down. So I opted for 6 NyQuil liquid gels and 4 Benadryl.
Holy shit.
And I woke up
fucking
in Texas
2 weeks later.
Yeah, it was great. I just teleported. I was like, that's
Did you wake up feeling that benzo high?
No, I was just like, I fucking bird tweets. And I'm like,
despise the benzo high. It makes me feel like I'm losing my fucking mind.
Yeah, I felt great. I just woke up and I was like, this is sick.
Yeah.
But in terms of hacks, something I tried recently that has not been going well. So I drank the Kool-Aid, just tried the hostage taping.
Oh yeah, I do that.
I'm just crafty in my sleep because I've done it 5 days.
You wake up with your nose covered.
Well, yeah, but I just put over. I feel like, Mr. Anderson on the interrogation, like can't have no mouth.
Yep.
I go to sleep. I wake up every single time. It is perfectly crumpled up in a ball on my nightstand.
Really?
Every time.
Wait till you start folding it into like a crane or something.
Yeah, origami. And just my body will not keep that shit on.
Interesting.
Yeah, did not pass the test, so I'm gonna keep trying.
Yeah,
but it is 5 for 5 at the moment.
What about you? Deviated septum?
I don't know. I don't think so.
How's your
works well enough?
I can breathe.
My sniffer works
sort of. Man, sleep tips. Stick an Ambien up your ass.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that the move?
No, just kidding. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Boofed. I would say there is a almost like meditative practice, something that my dad taught me. And it's good if you are like feeling very restless or I don't know. Yeah. Anxious. I did this actually, funny enough, in a different part of Brazil where I was sleeping on the ground and there's like pigs running in and out of the house. And I just had like fucking paper towel roll for my head. It was hot as a motherfucker. And it's really hard to sleep when it's really hot.
Paint, I'm gonna say already.
Yeah, I've had some fun adventures. And clearly I talked about my fucking love and affection for the chiggers.
What'd you say?
And I'm sensitive to bugs. I'm like a little bit of a fucking freaker outer. If like I start to feel like the tickle from something and then I'm like, nice, spiders are my whole body. Fuck. And that was happening too. So I really had to dial in to the sleep zone. And the trick is you lay on your back, get as comfortable as you can, and you slowly tell yourself that from your toes to your head, you're feeling each body part almost like you're filling up like a battery getting recharged, right? So you'd start with like 5% of you at the base of you. So you say, I feel like the bottom of my feet getting really heavy and relaxed. Take a breath. I feel my toes getting really heavy and relaxed. And you just slowly work yourself up. Mm-hmm. And by the time you're at your fucking belly button, you're just like, heavy. And
you find that works pretty regularly?
I don't need to do it very much anymore. For a long time, I had like the fucking sleep demons. Like I was not good in the darkness and shit like that. Like I would fucking freak out. Yeah. It's like seeing shit all the time. So I would work in those spaces, but now I'm just like, all right, demons at the foot of my bed, like either get in or
either yank me out or come snuggle, but shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah. I gotta go. So, that's a good trick. Otherwise, man, I don't know if you're still fucked and here's the thing that I will say irks me a little bit. I don't know how many people you've tried to help navigate the sleeplessness. And I know that there's nuance to this, like there is with weight loss and that type of stuff. But if you're like, oh, I've done every single thing. I've put the temperature down. I haven't looked at my phone. I just like don't believe you.
Yeah.
Like, and there are people that, you know, have insomnia, and that's a very real condition, but like what fed that, you know, what brought you to that space? And like, I don't know. I struggle with that diagnosis. Not that it's not real. It is very real. But yeah, I think that there's like with your exercise and just like daily habits and things like that, there's always going to be room for improvement in some way, shape, or form.
Well, as you mess with the little cylinder in your hand, what are your thoughts on stimulants and their inclusion throughout the day? And do you think there should be a time where they should be suspended to have the best sleep?
Yeah. So people, I mean, caffeine being the primary, most commonly consumed stimulant.
Just barely edging out cocaine.
Yeah, just barely. I mean, you know, they're pretty much the same thing. Some people will swear by the like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. A big factor in considering, which I don't know how else you would know this outside of doing extensive testing, is what your genome and processing of the half-life of caffeine is it can actually be pretty different from person to person. I think mine is pretty I'm like triple distiller of caffeine. I'm like a nighttime cappuccino. All right.
Yeah.
I don't really struggle with that personally. How's your sensitivity?
Feel in contrast to that, do you feel like you get an adequate amount of energy when you do ingest caffeine?
I do feel it initially.
Okay.
In the earlier part of the day. Yeah. And I'll know when I had too much for sure. I definitely have gotten like the jitters without a doubt.
Yeah. For me, I think I try to wrap up by 4. However, on the weekend, like it's a Friday or Saturday night, a little affogato, some gelato, espresso.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, fuck me up all the way twice on Saturday, you know?
That's right. Double fagato for you.
Yeah, well, double fagato.
Yeah, I mean, that's something to be mindful of for sure. The green teas and things like that, anything with like a theanine can help mitigate some of those caffeine effects if you feel like you're very sensitive to it. I think the people that are very sensitive to it know that. And they're like, oh, I can't even have any ever. So something to be mindful of. Don't do a line and then, you know, fill your lip with fucking Zyn right before bed. And you probably sleep a little better than you thought.
Respect.
Any last thoughts?
No. To the jumping sheep.
That's right. Then toodaloo and skip to my loo.
Enjoy your Z's, motherfuckers.
Ciao. Bye.